the new state will have a total land mass of 28,214 square kilometers with an estimated population of 20 million people. This was disclosed in a May 26, 2020 letter on the UNO State of Cameroon by Professor Martins Chai Ete, the United Nations appointed workshops coordinator in Cameroon and Nigeria, according to the report. The report also noted that the recent withdrawal of troops by President Paul Biya from the southern parts of the planned UNO state of Cameroon, which was said to have been formally demanded by the former president of the United Nations General Secretary Assembly, Ali Trefik, on May 20th, set the stage for the creation of the new state being spearheaded by the United Nations. Quoting the letter, the report said Ete wrote, "Greetings and thank you very much for the attached list of those who were detained in Nkem prison of Cameroon in August 2008. It is only now that the soldiers of La République de Cameroon are being withdrawn from the southern part of the United Nations state of Cameroon. On the UN's creation of a new country in Africa," Ete wrote, "I should be getting back to you once the United Nations finishes an official announcement on the existence of the UNO state of Cameroon to the international community." Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. So now guys, I suspect that this one would delight Nnamdi Kanu and his followers. Guys, I bring you this. United Nations announced new state carved out of Nigeria and Cameroon on July the 10th. So a new country is being created with territories taken from both Nigeria and Cameroon, and this new country, this new African country, is being created by the United Nations. And of course, this now is a precedence that Nnamdi Kanu and his followers can latch on to for their campaign. So again, the headline: United Nations to announce new state carved out of Nigeria, Cameroon on July the 10th. So now let's find out about this new African country that is being created. The United Nations has completed plans to carve out a new territory from Nigeria and Republic of Cameroon by July the 10th. The creation of the new territory, to be known as United Nations Organization State of Cameroon, may see Nigeria losing 24 local councils by way of ceding to the new country. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo and President Paul Biya of Cameroon, on the invitation of the then United Nations Secretary General Kofi Annan, had in March 2003 signed documents to cede their disputed territories, northern and southern Cameroon, to the proposed United Nations new country in West and Central Africa. According to a report in the National Daily, the new state will have a total land mass of 28,214 square kilometers with an estimated population of 20 million people. This was disclosed in a May 26, 2020 letter on the UNO State of Cameroon by Professor Martins Chai Ete, the United Nations appointed workshops coordinator in Cameroon and Nigeria, according to the report. The report also noted that the recent withdrawal of troops by President Paul Biya from the southern parts of the planned UNO state of Cameroon, which was said to have been formally demanded by the former president of the United Nations General Secretary Assembly, Ali Trefik, on May 20th, set the stage for the creation of the new state being spearheaded by the United Nations. Quoting the letter, the report said Ete wrote, "Greetings and thank you very much for the attached list of those who were detained in Nkem prison of Cameroon in August 2008. It is only now that the soldiers of La République de Cameroon are being withdrawn from the southern part of the United Nations state of Cameroon. On the UN's creation of a new country in Africa," Ete wrote, "I should be getting back to you once the United Nations finishes an official announcement on the existence of the UNO state of Cameroon to the international community." Nigeria, particularly in the northeast region with a decade-long Boko Haram insurgency, is sandwiched between its territory and Cameroon, with Bukassi Peninsula and Lake Chad located south and northeast of the UNO state of Cameroon. The creation of a new country will see Nigeria losing 24 local governments in the northeast alone, comprising 24 local government areas in Borno. So Borno loses 5, Adamawa 12, and Taraba State 7. According to the report, the UN Workshop Coordinator and Chairman Steering Committee, ATE, revealed that the councils to be ceded to the UNO state of Cameroon include Bama, Guazo, Ngala, Kala/Belge, Dikwa, and then it goes on to give a list of just the names of the councils, the local government areas to be ceded. The UN had kept northern and southern Cameroons under watch since Obasanjo and Biya signed the documents under the UN treaty before the announcement of the new state. The UN, according to recent reports, pledged to actualize a new state of Cameroon on July 10, 2020. Meanwhile, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Antonio Guterres, has commenced the process of sensitization towards the July 10 date of creating the new state for the Anglophone separatists in Cameroon. So a new state now being carved out of Nigeria and Cameroon. So this is now something now that we are seeing happening virtually next month, really, the 10th of July 2020, which is virtually next month, in a few weeks' time. This is what we are seeing now. So a new African state being created with territories being carved out of Nigeria and Cameroon to form this country of 20 million people. And these people, of course, are separatist Anglophones essentially in the Cameroons. So this is now something now that the IPOB movement can latch on to, surely, because if the Anglophone separatists in Cameroon say that they do not want to be part of Cameroon because they have a different outlook on life and they consider themselves to be a different people, and they are to the point of approaching the United Nations and having now this country created for them, effective from next month, then the same argument should apply then to the Igbo people. And instead then of going online and shouting efulefu, efulefu all the time and all this nzobun zobun chanting, surely then you can just approach the United Nations and present your case, and there's plenty enough cases, examples to cite to say that, look, we don't gel with these people, we feel held down and hemmed down by them, and we want to go our own way. And you can then point in the direction of Cameroon to say, look, you did it for the Cameroonians whose grievances are not even half of ours, so we want the same treatment too. So this could be a pathway to go, rather than all this just efulefu, all these things that they're doing, all this just endless shouting all over the place and just constituting a news. So Nnamdi Kanu can now send its emissaries to the Cameroons to find out exactly how they have done it. The Anglophones in the Cameroons, 20 million of them, they are not even up to the numbers of the Igbo people. So all the arguments weigh in favor of an Igbo separation, if that is what they want. And this is a pathway now. So enough of the efelefus and all these sort of things that we hear constantly on the airwaves. Approach the United Nations and follow this pathway. Conversations in the comment section. A new African country has been created by the United Nations. What says you? Which other African country would you like to see created? Come tell me all about it in the comment section. But before you do that, click on the red subscribe button so it turns gray. Bell button notifies you every time I drop a new video. Then come tell me what you would like to see happen next by the United Nations, especially with regards to Nigeria, in the comment section. So I'll leave you here. Carry this conversation on with you in the comment section. But here I say peace.